And so when they come across that man and come across that man that they perceive, because that's the key here. It's not about whether you're actually perfect or, because no one's perfect. No one's perfect. We all have flaws. We all have issues. But her perception of you is so high, is so great that becomes very overwhelming to her. So she thinks you're too good to be true. Now, I want the men to understand, listen, many of you have had situations where you really put your best foot forward. You were being the man you needed to be. You thought everything was going great, and this girl ran. She ran from the situation. She self-sabotaged, and there was a problem. Now, there can be various reasons why that happens, but some of you have either been told, or maybe you haven't been told, but it exists, where she had an occurrence where she felt like you were too good to be true. And so the reason why this happens with a lot of women is because so many have been programmed and conditioned to believe that good men don't exist, or that this amazing man, he's just not a reality. He's a dream. He's a unicorn. All right. And so when they come across that man and come across that man that they perceive, because that's the key here. It's not about whether you're actually perfect, or, because no one's perfect. No one's perfect. We all have flaws. We all have issues. But her perception of you is so high, is so great that becomes very overwhelming to her. All right. And now she thinks to herself, this can't be real. Something must be wrong here. And she starts to try to look for things to be wrong, or create things to be wrong, even do things in the relationship or dating situation to get you to react, or to get you to show her something that will validate her negative perception. All right. And it's a very unfortunate situation to deal with. Now, real quick, let me mention, I don't want every man to assume that every woman that lets you go thought you were too good to be true. You got to be real with yourself. You know if you weren't bringing your best self to the table, and some situations are just she wasn't feeling you, you guys didn't have a connection, and that's normal, that's healthy, that's fine, it happens, all right? But in this specific dynamic that I'm talking about, yes, there are women who think to themselves, this can't be real, he's too good to be true. Now, for the men, I want you to understand that if you come across this, all right, don't get into the mindset of thinking, well, let me show you even more how good I am. And here's what I mean by that. It's not that I don't want you to still be a great man. It's not that I don't want you to put your best foot forward. It's that if you think trying to be even more perfect is going to get her to believe how good and real you are, you're absolutely wrong. If anything, it will scare her away even more. That doesn't mean be an a-hole on purpose. It doesn't mean start playing any games. It doesn't mean lash out at her or anything like that, or mistreat her. I just want you to not get caught up in the mindset of, I have to prove my worth, or prove to this woman I'm as good as I have shown her that I am. If you've already been doing your part and putting your best forward, if you have already been doing your part and putting your best foot forward, then it is not for you to have to try to do more. It's for her to address the issues within herself. If she thinks you're too good to be true and you're a genuinely good dude, then that means she either has some past trauma she hasn't healed from. She may have negative influences in her life that's telling her, girl, this can't be real. He must be playing games. He's putting up an act, whatever. All right. Or ultimately she has just gone through too much. And again, that just goes back to she has things she needs to heal from. And so when you recognize that, again, don't get into the battle of trying to prove yourself. You can encourage her to listen. I am who I am. And I'm going to consistently be this guy. But if you can't believe that and embrace that, then the choice is either you have to get help for it through therapy. And let me make this clear. When you tell somebody else to get therapy, to see a counselor, don't just make it about them. If you really view that woman as potential future in your life, a woman that you can really spend your life with, then I would encourage you to say, you know what, we can even do it at the same time or even do some sessions together. You want to be a part of her journey. Not that you're going to heal her, all right? Not that you have to drag her to the finish line to be healed, but when you show that you are an encouraging partner willing to participate in the process, that's a very loving and empowering act, all right? So there's nothing wrong with that. But you cannot get into the mindset of trying to convince her that you are as good as you are. There is an issue within her. And you have to also understand that do not lash out or get upset with the woman who thinks you're too good to be true. Because now, if you do, you play right into her hands of, oh, I knew there was something wrong with you. I knew you weren't as good as you said you were, because now you're showing her a negative side of you. Don't give her that. Don't give her any ammunition, so to speak, all right? If she is going to now act out in unhealthy ways, trying to sabotage the situation or trying to prove to herself that you're not that great, then you let her go. It is not your responsibility to have to fix this woman, all right? It is not your responsibility to have to make her believe you are a good man. Stand strong in who you are, but hold her accountable for her own issues, all right? And so again, some of you might be thinking, does this really happen? Yes, it does. I've had countless women, and let me tell you something. Again, y'all have to remember, I'm not just speaking as just some random guy. I'm speaking as a man who is a coach, who has sat down with thousands of people, who has read through thousands of emails, who has seen thousands of situations, all right? And I can tell you, plenty of women have admitted to me, have let it be known clearly that yes, they have had situations where they felt the man was too good to be true. And that it made them feel too vulnerable, too overwhelmed. It scared the crap out of them. And they didn't know what to do with themselves. And yes, unfortunately, some situations go left and she completely runs away from it. And that's why it's important for you to, again, not get into the negative behaviors I've seen so many others do with lashing out or even, and though trying to prove yourself is not a negative behavior per se, it's a behavior that doesn't actually work in your favor, all right? And so this is not a long video. This is just something that I want to put out there because there's someone, and it might be you, going through it, or you may go through it. And I want you to be aware of these things before it happens. And I want you to be calm and poised and understand. Do not internalize her struggle to believe you are the good man you are. Do not get caught up begging for her approval and again trying to prove to her that you are as good as you are. Just be you. Stand strong in that. Be confident in that. If she has to get some help for her issues, that is on her. You can encourage her. You can join in on the process and help yourself as well, because we all have things we can improve in our lives. But do not allow it to damage you and put you in a negative mindset or discourage you, because if she's not the one who can embrace you, then another woman will come that can't. So I hope and pray this was a helpful video to you. Again, leave your comments below, like this video, share this video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. First reason why women play games is because they're getting bad advice, all right? Here's the thing, and let me get even more specific. Negative influences.